The Jamison Door Company and HCR are pleased to present an installation video for HCR Air Door Model AC. Ready? Okay, that's the quick version. Now let's go back and fill in the details. And please keep in mind, HCR equipment is custom built, so your equipment may differ in one way or another from this video, but the components and installation techniques will be similar. After carefully removing the crate from the truck, position it close to the doorway. Tools required are basic hand tools as well as a hammer drill with bits and tin snips. When cutting crating bands, take special precaution. Not all units come with standoff panels. If they are included in your model, carefully remove them and set them aside. Notice that the lower tubophores on the crate must be removed to allow forklift forks to be inserted underneath the top cabinet. For the same reason, place blocks under the plenums for access with a forklift. And before lifting any components, cover the forks to prevent scratching or damage to the equipment. Remove the plenum from the crate assembly and position it on the correct side of the doorway. This is the discharge plenum. It is easily identified by the nozzle blades. Depending on the size of the plenums, they can be positioned in the vertical by human power or machine power. Once they are in the vertical position, either secure them to the wall or have someone steady them in place. This is the intake plenum. And again, once the plenums are vertical, do not leave them unsecured or unattended, as these professional actors did. Remove all the miscellaneous parts and boxes from where they are packed in the cabinet. Inside one of the boxes is a component parts list. Now is the time to identify and inventory all pieces. Being careful not to damage the top cabinet, insert forks under the center of the unit just flush with the backside. This positions the cabinet for placement on the plenums near the wall. After reviewing the installation drawing, mark the doorway center line on the underside of the cabinet. This will assist in precise unit placement. And once the top cabinet center line is marked, also mark the header center line in the doorway so the unit can be precisely aligned during the installation. Tools required for the installation will be a drill with a 5/16 adapter, bits, a hammer, screwdrivers, a level, wrenches, and a hammer drill with 3/8 and 3/4 bits. Carefully study the installation drawing PD in preparation for unit placement. With the drawing fresh in mind, verify that the plenums are on the correct sides of the doorway. More than once, plenums have been installed incorrectly, and this is very costly for the installer. Position all lift equipment as required. Installers should steady the plenums as the top cabinet is raised into position. As the top cabinet is lowered into place, a gentle touch by the forklift operator is greatly appreciated by the installer on the man lift. Rough plumb the plenum, then square it with the cabinet. After verifying the two components are completely seated, secure with the number 10 self-tapping Tech screws provided. When the man lift is in place, align the second plenum to mate with the top cabinet. Align, plumb, and square the plenum, and when it is fully seated, secure it with the Tech screws. Prior to lifting the completed assembly to be placed precisely against the wall, center the forklift side shift. Lift the assembly so that the plenums are about 1/2 inch off the floor, and then place the unit against the wall, aligning the centerline marks. For single air curtains, the assembly would now be secured to the wall and floor with through bolts and anchor bolts as required. To secure the unit to the floor, first center the floor clips on the plenum and then secure them to the plenum with the screws provided. Drill mounting holes in the floor using the hammer drill, and then bolt the floor clips to the floor with anchor bolts provided. When the unit is in place, it is time to install the protective bollards. Depending on the installation, these bollards will vary in appearance and construction. On the floor, mark the layout for the bollard placement as depicted on the drawing PD. Position the bollards in place, verifying that the air cutouts are centered on the intake and discharge plenum openings. Incorrectly placed bollards have a negative effect on air curtain efficiency. This concludes the basic installation of Model AC. For any questions, please call the factory at 1-800-326-7700.